You're listening to the Call Kent podcast, where Kent C. Dodds answers questions and gives insights to software engineers like you. Now, let's hear the call.
My name is Peter. I can see that React is moving more towards server-side rendering approach. What I would like to ask is, suppose I have a backend with dedicated APIs and I have to develop a dashboard with React which consumes these APIs. Why should I choose server-side rendering over client-side rendering? I'm not worried over SEO in this case. Also, the code splitting keeps the JS payload to the minimum.
And that was the call. Here's what Kent had to say.
Hey there, Peter. Thank you so much for the question. So I actually just recently answered a question kind of similar to this. It asked about a bunch of different use cases for building apps with Remix specifically, and Remix is server rendered. So you might be interested in that one. It's called How Remix Fits 6 Different Web Apps. I will add a link to that in the description of this one. But to answer your question specifically, SEO is not the only reason that you would care to server render an app. The user experience of that loading experience, as well as even transitions, can be improved a lot if you're server rendering, and if you have a server to manage a lot of data requests and stuff. So with Remix in particular, having a server render or server aspect of the app that you're building makes it really easy to associate the data with the UI that needs the data, just by virtue of the nested routing. And so this means that any server-side code that you need can be easily implemented for anything like accessing APIs that need private keys or caching at the server level. Lots of different things are made a lot easier if you have a server that integrates nicely with your UI. And then also the content layout shift that makes the application bounce around as it's loading, because you've got loading spinners and stuff. That can be greatly reduced or even completely removed if you're server rendering, and so the user experience is a lot better. So, and that's very important even with apps that are like behind a login screen, like a dashboard, when the people who are using your app are on a poor internet connection. And so you want to make that loading experience positive for them. So yeah, there are various reasons. And like the last is, if you go with server rendering and you're okay with that, then you can use Remix. And Remix is just a phenomenal way to build web apps. So for me personally, I would not use anything else. I am super thrilled with Remix, and I'm really happy with the user experience that I can offer because I'm server rendering everything, and especially with something that's as dynamic as a dashboard. I think that makes a lot of sense. So I hope that helps answer your question, and I hope you have a nice day.
This has been the Call Kent podcast. Learn more about Kent at kentcdodds.com and get your own questions answered at kentcdodds.com/calls.